Hey, good evening. Where I am, it's evening. It's 20:07 right now. Right now it's October 28th. The election's in like 9 days. Something like that. My math might be wrong, but I did some calculations. Pennsylvania is the key state this election. We all know that. There's no combination where somebody can win this election pretty much without winning Pennsylvania. It's one of the most key of the key states that they need to win. I did some calculations on the state with poll numbers. We know poll numbers have never been right exactly. We always know they're a bit biased towards one side. And some people claim that they're just pulling the numbers out of nowhere because I've never met somebody who's been polled. You've probably never been polled. I mean, statistically, they're pulling like 1,000 people out of who knows where. So, whatever. It doesn't matter. We just have the numbers. I did this. This is what I did. I got the election polls from 2016. I took the difference between the 2016 actual. I put the difference here. I did the same thing for 2020. And then I got the average of their differences. And I applied it to 2024. The interesting thing I found about that is insane. I found that 4 of them had the exact same number. The exact same. Just the exact same. I know they're rounding it. But if they rounded it, it would mean that there's still probably, I would think they would have decimals at least. No, they're the exact same decimals. They have the exact same numbers. It's crazy. No, it's all these polls. All 4 of them have the same, and 3 of them have the same, but they're close. And there's one that's like a big outlier, and that's way in favor for Trump. And all of these numbers are in favor for Trump. Let's look here. Ispos. I'm gonna mispronounce all these names, by the way, because I'm very bad with my linguist. Or an example of my bad linguist is Ispos plus 10. They had Clinton at plus 10 in 2016. That was off by 10.7. That's because Donald Trump won Pennsylvania by 0.7 back in 2016. Now, if you apply that, so they were off by 10.7 in 2020, they had Biden up 4, which is 2.8% off, because Biden only ended up winning in Pennsylvania in 2020 by 1.2. Now, there's election fraud that goes on that people are accusing people of. It's just crazy. We're not here to discuss that. That's another place for another day. But only 1.2 was won. And so if we apply this margin of the difference and the average of it, and they have Harris up by only 2, which is insane. If we apply this margin, it favors Trump by negative 4.75. New York Times has Clinton up by 7 in 2016. That's off by 7.7. And they also did the same thing for Biden. 9 points. Even higher did they have Biden than they had Clinton, which is an interesting result. But that's off by 7.8. So when that's off by 7.8 and they're off by 7.7, you'd think that that's a really big margin of error. So that's going to apply to Trump a really big amount. No, because they have Harris up by 3 right now. New York Times does. So when you do all the math, it comes out negative 4.75 again. Same thing as Ispos. Same thing. They both have negative 4.75. They're the same exact number. Emerson College also has negative 4.75. Negative means favors Trump. I did the calculations as in positive favors Harris and negative favors Trump. Not in any manner. It just was easier because there's a lot of people that favor. All the polls favored Democrats more, so it's easier to do calculations positives rather than negatives. So there's also another poll that I got negative 4.75 on, which favors Trump. Morning Consult had Clinton up by 3, and then they had Biden up by 9. This was off by 3.7 and 7.8. They also have Harris up by 1 right now. So when you apply the margin of error, guess what number you get? You get 4.75. 4.75. Can you believe? And then, so I got 3 others that don't line up with the 4.75, but they all have the same number. Quinnipiac, I don't know how to say it, but I did 8 of these, 8 polls. Quinnipiac has Harris up right now by 2. Now, if you apply their differences, their margin of error, they have they have Trump. After you apply it, it will have Trump up by 4.25. Same with the Washington Post. They will have it by 4.25. And this one, it's some sort of American polling company in, what did I write down here? Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So they have them at 4.25 as well if you apply their errors in the past 2 elections. Now, what's crazy is Franklin Marshall, which had Clinton up by 12 in 2016, now has Trump up by 1 in their latest poll, which is insane. And they had Biden up by 6 for Pennsylvania. This is all for Pennsylvania. And so when you apply that, so the margin of error is going to favor Trump by a lot. They're going to get negative 9.75, so 9.75 in favor of Trump. So that's what brings my average up so much. It goes 4.75, 4.75, 4.75, 4.25, 4.25, 4.25, 4.75, 9.75. So that brings up my average to, I round it to the nearest hundredth, 5.19 in favor of Trump. 5.19 in favor of Trump for Pennsylvania. I don't think it's going to end up like that. I think Franklin and Marshall's poll was heavily inflated by their massive error in 2016. I believe that Trump will win Pennsylvania by 4.5. That's my rough assumption, because all of these things are 4.75, 4.25. So it makes sense to go with the mean or the median and go with 4.5. The average of this, the averages of that favored Kamala, Clinton in 2016. Clinton had an average of a 7.25 lead in 2016 in Pennsylvania. Their average difference from the actual result was 7.95. In 2020, the average in favor in Pennsylvania for Biden was 5.63. In 2020, the difference from that in Pennsylvania was, for Trump, 4.43. In 2024, the average right now is 1 point in favor of Kamala. Now, the average projection right now is that, applying all these numbers, is that Trump will win by negative 5.19, or he will win by 5.19 points, because negative favors Trump in my math here. So that's what I'm just so baffled about. It's the same numbers. If somebody could explain this in the comments, if they allow me to make comments on this video, I want to know, why are they the same numbers? There are 8 different polls. 4 of them, 4 and 3, 7 of them share the same results of 2 results, have the same 2 results. And there's just Franklin and Marshall out there. I should just cut it out because it's just inflating for Trump so much. It works nothing. So Trump's leading in all these polls according to the margin of error. The margin of error never goes the Democrats' way. It's been proven that way many times by the last 2 elections. I doubt it's going to work for Kamala Harris. I mean, I walk down the street, all I see is Trump signs. So I really don't think Harris is going to win Florida, because I'm here in Florida. But in Maryland, which is a blue state, I mean, I was in the Patuxent area, so it was a very military area. They were all red signs as well. Everybody's there supported Trump. Everybody there that supported Kamala. I had one friend. In the entirety of Southern Maryland, only one of them supported Kamala Harris. I mean, I had 2 friends that supported Biden. The other guy just didn't care about stuff, so he just stopped caring, because nobody cares. Biden, after I can't even buy a pack of gum no more. They raised the dollar. They've raised the price of dollars. So, whatever. I'm passionate about this. I want to buy freaking gum again. No, that's not why I want. I want America strong again. I want to make America great again. That's what you should want. That's what I should want. But this is what the math says here. If you want to take a good look, do the calculations yourself. You can look at all these names here. I've listed the names. You can look at it. I got my pooled numbers from 270 to win. And I pulled this random old ABC article that listed a bunch of polls. Or was it New York Times? I don't know. I don't remember it. My Chromebook died, so I can't check right now. But it was one of either ABC or from New York Post or Times. like from 2016, just listing all the averages of the polls in 2016, and I just compared it to the Wikipedia on the election results in Pennsylvania. So yeah, I think Trump will win by 4.5 points in Pennsylvania. That's how it's going to go, and that's going to win him the election, basically. Unless he loses Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. All those states, if he loses, maybe Kamala comes out with a victory there. I don't know the electoral votes off the top of my head, but I think this is a promising sign for Donald Trump. And the polls always favor the Democrats. I mean, they favored Clinton right before the election. 19 points for Clinton. And Trump comes in and wins Wisconsin. So, who knows? Maybe Harris has the advantage, and they're just overestimated Donald Trump in this instance and underestimated Kamala Harris. But I think that's a very unlikely scenario. Mr. Beat, actually, Mr. Matt Beat, he has a historical YouTube channel. I tweeted at him. He responded. He said, why doesn't the margin of error apply both ways? And, that's a good point. But I don't think it's plausible to think that the margin of error would favor the Democrats. Maybe it favored a while back. I mean, 1984, they said that would be a close election against Walter Mondale. Walter Mondale obviously lost every state except Minnesota and D.C. He lost every state except Minnesota and D.C. And they said, right before it said, this could be a very close election that could lead to Walter Mondale becoming the 41st president of the United States. I think that's the number that they wanted. 41st. Walter Mondale never did. Funny thing about that, this is off the rails though. Walter Mondale was the last presidential candidate to not attend the Al Smith dinner. And guess who didn't attend the Al Smith dinner this year? Kamala Harris. I mean, that's kind of a bit of a coincidence. I think there might be an electoral landslide, and I think this might be the first time that Donald Trump wins the popular vote. All right, that's my thoughts on Pennsylvania.